First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News at midday.
Good afternoon. We are starting with breaking news right now. We have confirmed 3 children are from the same family, all dead, hit by a truck while trying to get on their school bus this morning. These children are twin 6-year-old brothers and a 9-year-old sister. This all happened on State Road 25 north of Rochester. You're looking at the truck right there. WSBT 22's Caitlin Connon is live in Rochester right now. Caitlin, such a horrible scene. The officers have closed this road, had in fact, since the accident happened about 7:15 this morning.
Bob, just like you said, this has been a busy scene all morning. If you look here behind me, you can see the school bus as well as the pickup truck that was involved in that accident. And you can also see dozens of officers who have been here for hours. A police helicopter actually just left the scene. All of those officers trying to figure out just what led up to those 3 children being hit and killed. Sergeant Tony Slocum with the Indiana State Police says 4 kids were crossing the road to get on their school bus, which was headed north. He says the bus had flashing lights on and the stop arm extended, and that's when a woman driving south in a pickup truck hit the children. One of the children was airlifted to a Fort Wayne hospital, and the other 3 died at the scene. Their father confirmed they are his children.
I just can't imagine that pain. I haven't seen troopers cry in a long time, but I saw that today. Our heart just breaks for him and his family, and it's just a terrible situation we're having to deal with. But we'll do the best we can, and our prayers go out to those family members.
Slocum says the driver of that pickup is cooperating with police, but I spoke to a neighbor on this road who says this road is dangerous. She's had dogs hit here on this road. I'll tell you what she'd like to see done about this road, IN-25, tonight at 4 o'clock. Live in Rochester, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Caitlin, thanks very much. And continuing our team coverage, WSBT 22's Brooke Daniel is at Mentone Elementary right now. Brooke, 3 of the victims were students there.
Yes, people have been coming in and out of this school all morning. One of the preachers that just left the building that declined to go on camera told me he had spent his morning counseling grieving students in this building. The 2 twin brothers, the 6-year-old boys and the 9-year-old sister, all attended school here. Now, the school officials have been told by people leaving the building, the superintendent and another clergy member are at this elementary right now. We spoke with a neighbor that runs a daycare beside the school, and she also has grandchildren that attend here.
Devastated, and I've lost a child, so I can't even imagine what these families are going to be going through. It's just heartbreaking. And it's scary. You know what? My grandchildren and none of these children ride the bus, but what if it was them, you know? It just makes you stop and think.
Now, school officials released a statement. They declined to go on camera, but released a statement earlier today. The statement saying, "We have deployed all school counselors to meet the emotional needs of staff, students, and parents." Now, they also continued in that statement to ask for prayers for the family involved, the students, the teachers, and everyone in the community. Live in Mentone, Brooke O'Daniel, WSBT 22 News.
And again, along with these 3 children, another 11-year-old unrelated to those 3 children has been airlifted to a Fort Wayne hospital, remains there in critical condition. Stay with WSBT 22 News for continuing coverage of this morning's deadly bus stop crash. We will have updates throughout the course of the afternoon on our website, our social media, as well as live team coverage beginning WSBT 22 first at 4.
You want to get to more now on that breaking news that we brought to you at the top of the newscast. A small Fulton County town is shaken after 3 young children were killed trying to get on their school bus. A 4th child was seriously hurt. 6-year-old twin boys Xavier and Mason Engel and their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl were hit by a pickup truck. WSBT 22's Caitlin Connon is live along State Road 25 north of Rochester right now. Caitlin, how is the boy who was hurt in that crash doing this afternoon?
Jennifer, last we heard he is in surgery. He was airlifted to Parkview Memorial Hospital in Fort Wayne. 11-year-old Maverick Lowe was also hit by that truck right here in front of his neighborhood. Police say all 4 of those kids were hit by 24-year-old Alyssa Shepard of Rochester. Police also tell us the school bus was stopped, had its lights on, and its crossing bar fully extended. Shepard was not arrested, and officers say she has been cooperating with the investigation. Indiana State Police troopers were here on the scene for hours today, and that investigation certainly takes its toll.
Part of us died today too. Just like you guys and gals, we're all human beings, right? We do things like this by choice. It's our chosen profession. But that doesn't mean we don't cry, and that we don't hurt, and we don't go home and wonder what we've done with our lives and why we do what we do.
Of course, those officers aren't the only ones having a hard time with today's tragedy. I spoke to one mom whose daughter was on that school bus at the time of the crash. I'll tell you what she remembers about Xavier, Mason, Olivia tonight at 5 o'clock. Live in Fulton County, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
I just can't imagine that pain. I haven't seen troopers cry in a long time, but I saw that today.
An unthinkable tragedy. Right now, state police are investigating after 3 children from the same family were hit and killed while trying to get on their school bus. It happened in rural Fulton County.
WSBT 22 has team coverage of the investigation into that crash. Brooke O'Daniel is live outside Mentone Elementary School, where the victims were students.
But we begin with Caitlin Connon, who is live near the scene of the crash on State Road 25. Caitlin, charges have just been filed against the driver.
24-year-old Alyssa Shepard now faces 3 counts of reckless homicide and 1 count of passing a school bus resulting in bodily injury. That crash killed 6-year-old twin brothers Mason and Xavier Engel and their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl. That crash also sent 11-year-old Maverick Lowe to the hospital. Here's what we do know tonight. Police say the bus was stopped with its lights and stop arm activated. The truck was coming in the opposite direction. That's when police say 24-year-old Alyssa Shepard hit the 4 children. I spoke to parents in town who are completely shaken by the crash, and one of those moms puts her daughter on the bus at the stop right before Xavier, Mason, and Olivia's.
I didn't really know them that well, but smiles on their face whenever I saw them. So they were always, you know, they were good kids. Kids are kids, and we just need to love them all and be happy for the day that we do have them.
Coming up tonight at 5:30, I'll tell you why police say even though they've cleared this scene, their job is not done. Live in Fulton County, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
WSBT 22's Brooke O'Daniel continues our team coverage.
She's live at Mentone Elementary School, where the 3 victims went to school. And Brooke, obviously an emotional day for people there.
As you can imagine, there was a feeling of sadness when parents walked their students out of the school today. Counselors were here at the school today to help the students cope with the loss of 3 lives.
I don't know what to tell them. They've lost their friends, their kids. It's not right.
Jackie Bradley raises children that attend school at Mentone Elementary.
I have 3 other grandchildren that are best friends with the 3 that died and the 1 that was airlifted.
Her grandchildren ride the bus every single day with the students that died. In fact, they are the very next bus stop.
Everybody's upset, sick, sad, very quiet.
Judy Smith runs a daycare beside the school.
We're just devastated, and I've lost a child. So I can't even imagine what these families are going to be going through. It's just heartbreaking.
And says a loss like this makes you think about your family.
And it's scary. You know what? My grandchildren and none of these children ride the bus, but what if it was them, you know? It just makes you stop and think.
She doesn't know how she's going to explain this to the children she watches after school.
You know, it's hard enough as adults to process something like this. I mean, it's going to be impossible for children to ever be able to comprehend what this loss is going to be for them.
Jackie says this accident will have an impact on her grandchildren for years to come.
They're well loved, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience, and they might have nightmares for a while.
Now, right now, officials are still declining interviews about the accident, but the school did release a statement. It focused on finding out more details about the accident and also asking for prayers for the family, the victims, teachers, and the community. Now, I spoke with a woman whose husband coached 9-year-old Olivia's softball team. Tonight at 6, I'll have more on how she's remembering this little girl. Live in Mentone, Brooke O'Daniel, WSBT 22 News.
And make sure you stay with WSBT 22 News as we bring you the very latest details on this investigation into the crash. You can always find the newest information on our website, WSBT.com.
First, fast, accurate with Jennifer Copeland and Todd Connor. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 5:30.
My grandchildren and none of these children ride the bus, but what if it was them, you know? Just makes you stop and think.
Tragedy rocking our community. Right now, state police trying to figure out what led up to a crash that killed 3 children.
Police say they were trying to board their school bus at the time that this had happened. WSBT 22's Caitlin Connon is live near the crash site. This is on State Road 25 in Fulton County. Caitlin, charges have now been filed in this case.
Jennifer, 24-year-old Alyssa Shepard now faces 3 counts of reckless homicide as well as 1 count of passing a school bus resulting in bodily injury. That crash killed 6-year-old twin brothers Xavier and Mason Engel and their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl. That crash also sent 11-year-old Maverick Lowe to the hospital. Police say the children were hit by Shepard as they were crossing the road to get to their school bus. Police say the bus was stopped with its lights flashing and crossing arm extended. Shepard was headed in the opposite direction when police say she hit the kids. Again, those charges against Shepard were just filed this afternoon. That investigation that led up to those charges took a toll on officers and the entire community. You can hear how they're coping with this terrible tragedy tonight at 6. Live in Fulton County, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
And WSBT 22's Dane Murray continues our team coverage. Reaction obviously pouring in on this tonight.
Jennifer, this is making headlines across the nation tonight, and state leaders are sending their condolences as well. Governor Eric Holcomb tweeting, "Words cannot express the depth of sorrow Jana and I feel, which only pales in comparison to what family, friends, teachers, classmates, and the community are feeling right now. Today and for many more to come, we mourn their loss." We also heard from Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly, who tweeted, "Devastated to hear about the horrible news in Fulton County this morning. My prayers are with the entire Rochester and Fulton County communities who have lost 3 children, with the 4th in critical condition." NDOT also sending this reminder about driving safely around school buses. Remember, you have to stop when a school bus stops unless you are on a divided highway and going the opposite direction of that bus. And make sure to stay with WSBT 22 as we continue to follow the very latest in this investigation. Another live report from the scene is coming up at 6. Todd and Jennifer?
Dane, thank you.
First, fast, accurate with Jennifer Copeland and Todd Connor. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
New details at 6 on breaking news in Fulton County. Late this afternoon, the prosecutor's office charged 24-year-old Alyssa Shepard in a deadly accident involving kids trying to get on a school bus. She's facing 3 felony counts of reckless homicide and a misdemeanor count of driving around a school bus causing bodily injury.
The victims who died are from the same family, twin 6-year-old brothers and their 9-year-old sister. An 11-year-old boy is in the hospital tonight. This all happened this morning on State Road 25, just north of Rochester.
We begin our team coverage with WSBT 22's Caitlin Connon. And Caitlin, that community is also hoping for the recovery of another young boy.
The accident killed 6-year-old twin brothers Xavier and Mason Engel, as well as their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl. But it sent 11-year-old Maverick Lowe to the hospital. As this community prays for Maverick's recovery, they also have to come to terms with the loss of Xavier, Mason, and Olivia.
It was just not knowing what had happened and how everyone was for a half hour. That was terrifying.
Tamara Mejia's daughter was on that bus those children were trying to board.
I didn't really know them that well, but smiles on their face whenever I saw them. So they were always, they were good kids.
Police say the kids were crossing State Road 25 to get on the bus. It had its flashing lights on and crossing bar extended. Police say that's when 24-year-old Alyssa Shepard, heading the opposite direction, hit all 4 kids with her pickup.
Kids are kids, and we just need to love them all and be happy for the day that we do have them.
Officers investigating also struggled with today's tragedy.
This is not normal, seeing 2 little boys that are twins laying there, just not normal.
Officers say Xavier Mason and Olivia's dad confirmed they were his kids.
I just can't imagine that pain. I haven't seen troopers cry in a long time, but I saw that today. Our heart just breaks for him and his family, and it's just a terrible situation we're having to deal with.
Slocum and Carter say they spent hours at the scene today trying to make sure they did everything right, trying to make sure they get answers for the parents whose 4 little kids were just trying to go to school.
Just because we're leaving doesn't mean we're done. What that means is we're leaving, we're just getting started.
Police told me Alyssa Shepard has been cooperating with the investigation. She now faces 3 counts of reckless homicide as well as a count of passing a school bus resulting in bodily injury. The Fulton County Jail says she is being processed into the jail right now, but we have not heard about any court dates. Live in Fulton County, Caitlin Connon, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Caitlin. WSBT 22's Brooke O'Daniel continues our team coverage tonight.
She is live at Mentone Elementary School where the kids attended class. Lots of emotion there today, Brooke.
Yes, overwhelming sadness and disbelief from the parents I spoke with today. The school brought in counselors to help the students cope with their grief. A reminder that this school now has 3 empty chairs. Mentone is a small town where everyone seems to know each other. I spoke with Jessica Thompson. Her husband, he coached 9-year-old Olivia Stahl's softball team this spring. She says the little girl was a joy to be around.
She was just very sweet and loving. I don't think that I'd ever seen her frown while she was out there. Of course, we were winning most of the time, so smiles were to be had. But she was just a very caring little girl. She would come up to you and give hugs and high fives and just ask her how she's having fun, and just smiles everywhere.
Olivia is pictured here in the glasses. Jessica said, well, that the girls played all of the positions. Olivia played a lot at third base. Now, the school declined any requests today for interviews, but they did release a statement earlier today. That statement asked for prayers for the family, students, and staff. Live in Mentone, Brooke O'Daniel, WSBT 22 News.
And make sure to stay with WSBT 22 on air and online for the latest on the investigation into this morning's crash. We'll have updates throughout the night on our website and social media, and live reports tonight at 10 and 11.
First, fast, accurate with Todd Connor and Dane Murray. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 11.
And new at 11, tragedy hitting close to home and making headlines across the country tonight. 3 children are dead and another is critically injured.
They were hit by a pickup truck while crossing a state highway to get onto their school bus. The accident killed 6-year-old twin brothers Xavier and Mason Engel and their 9-year-old sister Olivia Stahl. 11-year-old Maverick Lowe is in a Fort Wayne hospital. His mother posted on Facebook that he's undergone 3 surgeries but is doing well tonight. We have team coverage of this heartbreaking story, beginning with the latest on the investigation.
24-year-old Alyssa Shepard has bonded out of jail. She faces 3 felony counts of reckless homicide and a misdemeanor charge of passing a school bus with the stop arm extended, causing injury.
It's everyone's responsibility to make sure our children get to and from school safely. And when it doesn't happen, which did not in this case, it's heartbreaking.
Police say Shepard hit the 4 students with her pickup truck as they were crossing the road. She was heading in the opposite direction. Investigators tell us the bus did have its lights on and stop arm extended.
The father confirmed that the 3 were his children, and I just can't imagine that pain. I haven't seen troopers cry in a long time, but I saw that today.
The rest of the state is mourning along with this small community.
You know, part of us died today too. Just like you guys and gals, we're all human beings, right? We do things like this by choice. It's our chosen profession. But that doesn't mean we don't cry and that we don't hurt.
Shepard will be in court in a couple of weeks, and tonight we are told the NTSB is launching a team to investigate the crash.
The uncle of the children who died says the family is trying to come to terms with what even happened. WSBT 22's Max Lewis is at the live desk. And Max, this is a really close family.
Yeah, it is, Dane. Elgin Ingle says his niece and nephews were happy and sometimes shy kids. He says they were their parents' entire world. Now, his nephews Xavier and Mason were typical boys who liked playing with monster trucks and going fast. He says his niece Olivia was like a mother to her two younger brothers. She would always walk them to and from the bus, holding their hands as they crossed the street. He just can't believe that they are now gone, and he has a message for Alyssa Shepard, the woman who police say struck and killed his niece and nephews.
3 children who had a great future, smart kids. That's over now because you didn't pay attention. I hope you take that with you to your grave.
And the family told me they have no funeral plans at the moment. However, they have started the GoFundMe page for future expenses. At the live desk, Max Lewis, WSBT 22 News.